This video for yearbook is really only for pages that are 2-page spreads, or of course more that have multiple pages. But anytime you have one topic covered on 2 pages side by side, we are also going to have a special coverage mod. Okay, I talked about in the earlier videos picking out a kind of large mod, but not the biggest mod on the page, to be that special coverage mod. So we're going to plan that out. I'm going to show you how to do that here right now. Again, you want to make sure that when you're in here, you have your toolbar, you have your paragraph styles. If that's not there, go to Windows Styles, Paragraph Styles, or Tools. Make sure you have access to your pages. Make sure you're working on the pages that have the blue box around them. And we're going to look at how do you build your special coverage mod. Now, you should have made a plan for some sort of special or interesting thing that you're going to cover in this box. That thing needs photos, obviously, of that thing happening, and it also is going to need a little bit of text. Okay, we're going to need to explain what's going on in that thing, and it's going to need its own little mini headline to explain what's happening in this box. So let's say I'm doing the varsity football spread, and I've already talked to players and I know about some special things, and in this box, let's say we're going to cover life in the locker room. And this is going to be like, what were the hijinks, what kind of went on in the locker room, something like that. It's a special coverage. I'm only going to have pictures in there of that. So the first thing I'm going to do is grab my picture box tool, my frame tool, and I'm going to come over here and I'm going to kind of think about where I want to put some pictures. So I know I'm going to need a headline and some words there. So I think I'm going to do a picture here. Again, remember, I'm using my grid here. I'm going to put a picture here, and I'm going to leave some room for my captions down there. And I'm going to put another picture right here, and I'm going to say about the same size there. Now notice I made that one not according to the grid, so I'm going to have to fix that because we've got to keep those consistent margins inside. I'm going to use Command plus to zoom in to make sure I'm being really accurate with this. And there we go. Now I'm noticing on this page, this mod up here, I did a lot of square pictures, so I kind of don't like that. I don't like having so many squares on here. So I'm going to move this one down, and I'm going to bring it down and bleed it off the bottom of the page. Okay, so I have a nice vertical picture, and then I'm going to take this picture and a nice horizontal picture there. That way I have some different sizes and shapes of photos on this page. I'm going to do the same thing I did up here. Click these, Command C, Command V, paste a new one. And actually I'm going to delete that one because I already have one the right size and shape here. So I'm going to get this one, and I'm going to bring it over here, and I'm going to put this one right there. And that looks like it fits. That's going to be for that photo. Then I'm going to paste the same one, and I'm going to have it right here. And look at that. It fits pretty nicely for that photo right next to it. I'm going to make sure these are kind of lined up right. And boom, we got a caption for this one, a caption for this one, ready to go. Now, what about this area? What's happening here? Well, we need to do a couple of things. This is a special coverage area, so we want it to have its own headline. So I'm going to grab the T text box, and I'm going to draw a headline thing. I'm going to select main headline, but I don't want the headline to be as big as this one. So I'm going to go here and I'm going to modify this. And you'll notice when I start changing the type size, a little plus sign added. That means you're doing something different to it. I'm going to bring this one down. Let's see what 36 point font looks like, if that's still too big. But this one I know is going to be about the locker room. So I'm going to write something kind of catchy, locker room. And I'm going to copy paste that because I want another word. I don't want to put it all in one text box there. And it's okay if it goes a little bit on that. I want that a little bit. And we're going to say life, locker room life. And I want this headline to look kind of cool in there. Oh, I want it to look kind of cool in there. So I'm looking at the edge of that photos right there. I want it to be just outside the edge of that. locker room life. Okay, locker room life. I like that. And so then I'm going to draw another text box right here. And we're going to fill up that whole space. And I'm going to use for this one body copy because it's a little bit of writing that's going to explain the locker room life. It's going to talk about why the locker room was an important place. It's going to talk about the kinds of things that happened in the locker room, all that kind of stuff. Now, for now, what I'm going to do is go to type, fill with placeholder text, so I can see what that looks like and know what's going to be there. So I've got locker room life. I've got that. I might even, if I want to get really fancy here, what might be kind of cool is if I went in Photoshop and created a little graphic of a lock, right? A little drawing of a lock, and we could drop that right there. That would be kind of cool. So I would probably do that if I was doing this one, just to add a little flair to this special coverage mod. And then your 2 pictures that are going here need to be of stuff happening in the locker room. So that's how we would plan that out. Now, if you look, at this point, I've got every mod planned and ready to go. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 normal pictures of just football, different things happening, and I've got 8, 9, 2 more pictures that are specifically about the locker room. And then I've got this space here for my special cover, for my quote. Now, remember, if you have a single page, you do not have a special coverage mod. You've got pictures and captions with a headline. You got pictures and captions, and then one quote mod. So we don't have enough room in there. We don't want to eliminate photos of people for special coverage on a single page. So it's a little different there. But I'm going to talk next about your quote mod. So once you have that all designed, again, make sure all of these things, between everything, there's consistent internal margins. Then you move on to the next thing.